Greetings, everyone. Welcome to a premiere draft of Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths. Chat has spoken in another tight vote this week. Best of one has narrowly edged out best of three, and we're going to see if we can't march towards 7 wins today. We've had great runs this week so far, a couple of 3-0s in traditional. Now we're going to try and find our way back to 7 wins here in Premier. I have stuck to my current plan around the red-white cycling deck, which is to treat it like the powerhouse that it is, to look for its openness, but not force it. We're not forcing anything. But early on, if people pass me great payoffs for the cycling deck, I'm going to take them. I'm going to hedge that way, because if the table insists, I am happy to take the most powerful archetype in the format. The question is, what are you giving up to keep that path open? And that's really what we debate when we get into the picking, right? Is this Snare Tactician better or worse than this removal spell? Is this, Stinger better or worse than this thing that would go with the bomb rare we took pack 1, pick 1? So I'm really finding pack 1, pick kind of 3 through 6 to be like this critical place to figure out whether you're hedging towards cycling or not. So that's kind of how I've been handling it, and we'll see. And so it's been successful. I feel like we've been finding our lane. Either I've been getting the cycling deck that looks pretty good, or I've been in with Marsh on Friday, we ended up black-green, because that was just clearly what the seats were telling us. We are trying to listen to our fellow drafters and take their suggestion as to what lane to be in. And if you want to take my suggestion as to what lane to be in for your physical tabletop magic needs, you know where to go, right? Check my panels down below, cardkingdom.com. Click that panel header and head on over to cardkingdom.com from here and check out their incredible inventory, their incredible prices, their incredible customer service, and their incredible buy list. It's all incredible, and I really appreciate their great support of me during this pandemic. I hope you're all doing well, by the way. When we really first started the quarantining, the shelter in place that was going on, we talked about it a lot around here, and now I've kind of stopped talking about it, almost like it's just normal. It's just life. This is just how life is right now, and maybe that's correct. But I do want to say, I know this has been really hard on a lot of people, and especially if you're a social butterfly and you're trapped in a cage right now, and it's hurting your soul a bit. I'm sorry. Hang in there. We're gonna get through this and be a stronger society for it, right? Anyway, that's a little weird pandemic aside during a Card Kingdom pitch, but on that front, they are doing the best they can to manage their situation with the pandemic, and they're getting stuff shipped out as fast as they can. Shipping has not been overall as fast as it has historically been with Card Kingdom. That's just the nature of the beast we are collectively fighting right now. So hang in there for that, and check out Card Kingdom when you need some physical stuff. Let's go. There we go. It's about 2 weeks to get your order. That seems like what they're saying, Tron, that's kind of the turnaround, which is obviously very unusual for them. In non-pandemic times, it's more like 2 days to get your order. Well, this was our first pick yesterday. Worked out great as a place to go with the cycling deck. Fire Prophecy is maybe better in the abstract, but Ruinous Ultimatum is a fun place to start, I'll tell you that. So I'd be down for a Ruinous Ultimatum start, and then Cathartic Reunion, maybe Wheels. But we can do Fire Prophecy too. What do you think? Let's pull this one real quick. Fire Prophecy or Ultimatum? I think I said Fire and Ultimatum are your... Oops, did I misspell it? Okay, no, somebody else did. Ultimatum's more fun. This is more directly, this may be the adult pick. But I'll go with what chat says. We also consider this Sanctuary Lockdown. This might wheel, sending us into a human direction. All right, we'll Ultimatum. No adults in the room today. Good. I don't feel like being an adult anyway. Let's take the Ruinous and see where it goes. Snare Tactician jumps out at me. What else we got? This is a decent rare, but I still think Snare Tactician is better. It's just the best card in the pack. And it does, as we saw yesterday, it can go quite well with the ultimatum. Yesterday we did a couple of we did the cycling deck splash black effectively, and that worked out. Yeah, and let's see what's missing. So an uncommon taking over the rare. People are pretty down on green right now, so that doesn't completely surprise me. And we're not sure what's going on to the right. And yeah, if you are someone on a free-to-play budget whose gems frequently run out, playable gems like this rare are a great way to go, but we don't need to worry about that. We're going to take Snare Tactician. It's the best card in the pack, and it actually goes with our first pick. But we're not going to marry it. Like, we could take Go for Blood here. That would be kind of marrying it. We could take an Essence Scatter instead to take, like, the best card in the pack. But perhaps, I mean, a Cycling one, it's also is part of the Ruinous Ultimatum. Like, maybe Go for Blood is just the best card in the pack. Yeah. If we end up in Cycling, we would really want the Cycling one. That's the thing. I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm forcing it, but at the same time, I mean, this is a removal spell. This is quite a great card. Of all of the Cycling 1 cards, this is probably the one that I hard cast the most. So it's legit for that reason as well. All right, now we're getting signals back this way that Cycling is maybe not open to our right. So let's. It also just could be the pack. I mean, we could take Rock Slide, but we could also hedge towards the green that people don't seem to want. There's the Skull Prophet. Nipper is pretty great in the black decks. It has a lot of flexibility with the counter, and it's you can mutate onto it. But Slide goes with what we have already. I don't think Nipper is so much better. This is gold, and I don't want to take a gold card of which we've taken nothing yet. So this is a place where what we've already taken is pushing me towards a Slide, even though I actually don't really like a Slide in a great Cycling deck. But if we don't end up in a great Cycling deck and we're trying to do more Ruinous Ultimatum control, then we like the Rock Slides and stuff because it gets us to winning with the Ultimatum. And here's a Cycle 1. We could take a Great Horn if we want to pivot that. Snapped Axes is on color, but it's also not even that good. Like, it's only good here. Wouldn't you agree? Like, if you can't do the black-red, you should not be playing this card. And then if you are, mostly you're just killing a target creature for a really tough cost. So I actually like Crater over this Mythos. Tranquil Cove. Am I missing something from Wang? Anyway. I like lands in general, although it doesn't help with the Ultimatum. We want the black lands here, so maybe Dark Bargain, or maybe just Blitz. I think it's Bargain or Blitz. Maybe Bargain in case we don't get the... I'm going to take Bargain to play more to the Ultimatum. Yeah, Deadeye is fine, but if we end up more... I forget what this is Guild is called, or the Wedge is called, but this... Mardu, thank you. The Mardu Control wants a Dark Bargain. Cycling doesn't really want a Dark Bargain. Mardu Control really does, and we're not sure where we're at yet. So, and I would like to play to the Ultimatum. Yeah, we could even take the Wilds here. Yeah, let's take... this is... I do love me a Smasher. These are my favorite cyclers, these creature cyclers. But I think if we want to lean Ultimatum, we should take the Wilds. Pajamin likes the Smasher too, but I like leaning towards the Ultimatum. I think that's cool. I'm not going to pass cycling 1 over these. We got 2 red cyclers and a reasonable Blitz. Like, Blitz does go into the Dark Bargain Mardu control deck. Yeah, I'm close, but I'm still going to take cycling 1. I think cycling 1 is still too good. It was close. Here we got an awesome Barons. Cycling 1 in these types of decks is so valuable. If we end up kind of less cycling, more Ultimatum control, the Several is all right, but I'm gonna hope we're cycling and take the Wilt. If we're in a world where we end up regretting not having this Serval, then we probably have a disaster draft on our hands. So hopefully it just doesn't matter. But we'll take Boot Nipper here. That's an interesting signal. We were talking about taking that before. Shredded Sails is nice here. So we have this really weird kind of another hybrid situation here. We have a Mardu Ultimatum control deck building, and we do have also a cycling deck building, but let's be clear that our cycling rewards are really not there right now. We've got 1 Snare Tactician. So really where I feel like we are is on the Ruinous Ultimatum plan. So I want to keep that in mind as we consider what things we're taking from here. We may get the major cycling hookup in pack 2 because we cut it pretty hard, but I think it was being cut to our right. To me, there's clearly somebody to our right in cycling. So we really want to play the Ultimatum side of things if we can. On that front, I like a Prophecy here. Ooh, there's a Heartless Act as well, which is probably superior. And if we are playing the Ultimatum plan, we should be targeting having enough black to like run the Heartless Act. I like the Caprador. This tends to wheel. Watch us wheel the Caprador, and then we'll take it. Hopefully we wheel this Crag. I think with where we're at, I'm leaning, like I said, and we're leaning more Ultimatum. So I'm going to take the Act under the feeling that we're more of an Ultimatum deck than a cycling deck here. Here's another Ultimatum. We may be an Ultimatum deck, but we're not a 2 Ultimatum deck. And here we have cycling 1 and a play that we can do early that helps us survive to the Ultimatum. So this is a good split choice here. If we do happen to end up with the density and cycling, we'll be happy to have the healer. But if we're doing the Ruinous Ultimatum thing, the healer's fine as well. Yeah, no, we're not doing... I don't think we're doing the double Ultimatum this time, folks. Valiant Rescuer. As I said, we might get the hookup here, and we have the Stinger. I'm willing to take, let's take, because again, this is what I mean about, I keep beating this drum on the cycling deck, but the floor on these things, it's like, oh, we didn't get there on the cycling deck. Okay, so we just have a 3-1 for 2 that we don't usually want to play those, but yeah, Stinger is good too, but I think I like Rescuer a little more. Right, Rescuer's not bad in the control. I mean, it trades up as a 3-power creature, so... Yeah, we're totally getting the payoffs now. So now we have to decide, though. This is an important pick. We have a cycling payoff, a cycling 1 that can go in either, or a Fire Prophecy that's better for the Ruinous Ultimatum leaning deck. So with 32 seconds, I'm going to do a poll, a quick 15-second poll of Fire, Flexion or healer. Gotta act fast. People seem to want the fire prophecy. I'll take it. I think it's probably correct. It's a nice hedge that is good in anything we end up in. And here we can take another tactician, lean a little harder into the cycling. Here's a shredded sails as a. We're gonna take this because we're gonna wheel that Caprador. We have a charge. I'd rather have shredded sails number 2. I think. You want charge number 2 over sails? I guess we do have the dude. I think we might wheel the Caprador. That's why I'm looking at the shredded sails. Charge with rescuer is nice, but sails with Caprador is nice. And doesn't seem like people are taking white cards. I'm going to take the sails on the strength of that. One of these charges is fine. Although here's another sails if I knew we were going to get that. Wilds is nice, but probably just want a crag. A little mythic still here. Take some collection building with the old mythic. We could take this. But it's not really us. We're trying not to play blue. We want the ultimatum. I'm going to take the crag. We're so rich we don't need to worry about gems. And I'm going to take a Rumbling Rock Slide here. Another crag. Oh, but the Gopher Blood makes it back. I think with the Rescuer and the double Tactician, we need the Gopher Blood now. I like the crag, but we're building towards it. We're going to get there. We're fine. Yeah, Caprador didn't come back. So it goes. Take Glider in case. Yeah, basically Mardu Control with cycling sub-theme is where we're at, and that's fine. Oh, hello! Maybe we're just gonna be hardcore cycling by the end of this. Oh my gosh. I don't care too much about uncastable cycling too. Those end up being cut. GRS says we're not cycling. Yeah, we are, GRS. we really are. I think we are. I'm going to take that. First snare over second wilt. Well, here's where we have to decide, because we got a Cub Warden as a fine rare playable. And in here, we have... but they have the Marm we have the Marm payoff. So I think we're Marmoset in this deck. But I'll see what you all think. Oh no, there's not enough time. Yeah, we don't have a lot of mutate targets for one thing on the Cub. So yeah, we'll take Marmoset. Foxy Lady. Dranith Stinger was wheeling. We might want a Caves for our Ruinous. But another Stinger, right? I think I might still want to run Ultimatum. We'll see. Another Mythic we're passing. We're just really like, whatever. If I were on an account stretch for resources, I'd be taking that Mythic. I know what it does. Wizard, I still don't know if we want to do that, because we don't even know if we're going to play black. As Deacon says. Mythics are only gems if you're going to 4x them. Correct. Yes, they are. But you can also... they also help towards... Marmoset, or... Let's see, is this... right now, we'd have to... If we take Gigantha, we get a free Gigantha if we're willing to cut this Frost Veil Ambush and the Ruinous. I think free 5-drop is worth it. Can't play the Ruinous if we're going to play the Gigantha as a companion, but I think free 5/5 is fine. We're getting hooked up enough now for the cycling deck that I think I'm at least willing to spec on this and give up the Marmoset. All right, here's a reunion we don't have yet that I would really like before we finish. If this were one of the direct on-color crystals, maybe, but reunion's fine here. I'm really sad when my cycling decks don't contain one reunion. And Marmoset's going to be the pick over Evolving Wilds, because I don't think we are playing black at this point. If we're cutting the Ultimatum, we're cutting black. Yeah, Claws is good. We hope to wheel those Claws. Here's another reunion. I don't think we're doing two, but we're not playing anything else here, so I'll take the reunion as a possible. Here's another Shredded Sails. Are we playing that many? I mean, we have 4 of them. I can probably just take some gems here. I just don't think we're playing 5 Shredded Sails. Like, if we get another Claws, we might run that. But, I'm gonna take some gems. All right, check this out. We got 2 Cycle 1s back. We're gonna take the more desirably castable one. Healer. Man, it's just like a game of chicken, right? It's like we're all pressing down on the pedal of cycling, and whoever holds down the pedal longest gets paid, and in this case it was us again. Well, I think maybe early, like, we certainly didn't see any stuff from the right. If there was nobody upstream to our right in cycling in pack 1, then the packs were just super dry for cycling in pack 1, right? I'm not taking a Wilt. I would rather take the crystal that we can play so that we can potentially cast the Wilt that we have. And there's the Raking Claws we wanted back. Well, we don't know GRS. You can't know that. It might be what happened, but we can't know. That's all I know. Is this... Excuse me. All right. Some cuts to make, and I'm getting my data set for... looking at my spreadsheet right now. That's why I'm not looking at you. Give me one moment. This is a free-to-play premiere. Wow, we actually haven't done that in a while. We paid 1,500 in gems to enter. We ground. That was 20 on the grind or 40? I can't remember now. Anybody remember? Let me put 20 since I can't remember. Thank you. Yeah, your deduction. That's fine. I'm being a little pedantic. No worries. So we're gonna try Gigantha here, cutting this and this, and we're gonna count our cycle 1s. Cutting that, cutting the bargain. We may just quickly define our deck here. We probably cutting the Heartless Act 2, cutting all that. And then we get 4 land cuts and we're kind of done. I guess that's a little more... Wish we had a little more cycling 1 than we do, but when don't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 1 reunion in. I only want 1. You can do 2, because you can pitch reunion to reunion, but... Oh yeah, Emery's? I didn't look. How far away were you? One to 2 is definitely correct, but we don't need to run it, is what I'm saying. And I'm going to cut... We could, with the Scoured Barrens and Evolving Wilds, we could run something like a Heartless Act if we wanted here. I get it, Mike, but I'm also willing to cycle this if we're looking for land. You know, it's just part of what the deck does, and I can accept losing this payoff to find the land we need for other payoffs. 17, 16, 14, 13. So we could go to 13 or maybe 4 or 14. I don't know. Cut all off. You mean lands? Yes. Lands, yes. But we have to play what we got here. And then my question is, do we do this? Probably not. I'm willing to do a wilds, though. And then 5, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we could cut to like a snare or a wilt. We guess we keep the wilt because we could actually cast crystal and wilt. And do this instead. I think if I've got 6 or below, I'm not, you know, or five 1-mana cyclers, then the deck starts to be a little clunky. Yeah, a rock slide is a decent cut if we want to do that and bring in a reunion. We have 2 tacticians. Also, I'm probably in your way. That's true. Gigantha can help us cast Wilt or Hampering Snare, but probably don't want to cast that. Helps cast Heartless Act. Yeah, we're close. I think I'm going to start without it, but we could play Act if we're willing to run a Swamp, because then we get Barrens, Swamp, and Evolving Wilds, and Crystal is all splash sources for the Act. And Gigantha. But I'm cutting rock slides because I feel like we have control elements, although we only have 2 tacticians. You know, maybe we have Fire Prophecy. Like, we have some removal, so I think I'm going to start with this and see if it does right by us. Maybe we'll make a Gigantha joke here of some kind. What do you want to cut? You want to cut the rock slide for the Act? We do have a lot of cycling 2. Well, actually, I should pull our, do the thing here. Let's put our cycling 2 there. And then these are non-cyclers, but synergistic or good payoffs. And then cycling 1. I like it, Draco. Draco wins the naming. we do something with the jeggings, like jeggings and shredded jeggings. How about shredded jeggings? Because we have 4 shredded sails. Mirage lands for Tron. Okie doke. Let's see. Well, you can, I mean, boxed in, you have to tell me a box to put somewhere. So tell me what goes in Link's spot. How about, well, it seems like you don't care. So how about Bert and Ernie? Hop up for that. But I will not destroy my lunchbox just because you don't like Link. All right, then. Back to this action. All right, there's people who want to try the Heartless Act. We'll bring in the Heartless Act before this event is over, but I'm going to start here. OCD chat. Hampering snare over the crystal. Why? It's strictly better to run the crystal. Hampering snare, well, I guess not strictly because we do have the Gigantha, but crystal provides us an extra way to produce green to actually cast the Wilt. So that's why I'm doing it. Still manually triggering my memes, but I'm working on I'm watching all sorts of tutorials on my new hardware, and we're gonna get it up soon. But true, this is not about mana issues. This deck doesn't really have mana issues unless it has, on some occasions, crippling screw early that you're just done for, right? Like, so the thing like this, I'm not worried about Rumbling. If Rumbling Rock Slide were in this hand, I'd be like, okay, that's all right. We've got cycling one, payoffs. You know, we're keeping this. Yeah, this is fine. I will keep a land and 2 cycling ones anytime because that gives me 3 shots at that second land because I get the natural draw, cycle 1 before the draw, and then cycle 1 after the draw. Still looking for land, but I'm definitely playing the Evolving Wilds here no matter what. And I'm going, and we want more land, so what I'm going to do here is play the Evolving Wilds, and then we're going to cycle at the end of their turn, and then crack the Wild. But we want to cycle first, because I actually would like to draw land right now. No lands? No, I want 1 land hat. I can't just take the chance that I draw the ability to get that cycle chain going. Cool. And we know what to search for as well. I mean, we were going to get a mountain anyway, but now it's extra clear. there's that rock slide that I'm not worried about casting. And actually going to offer them Snare Tactician. They have this weaponize, so they're going to be able to pick off the Rescuer. And I at least want to be able to make sure I get a cycle off before they weaponize away the Rescuer. And they can't weaponize away the Tactician, so let's make them have something here. All right, well, we could play another Tactician, but we need to find land. Oppo's not attacking, but we don't have good attacks, so we're just going to pass. Although, I'm going to cycle, and then they're not attacking into us. They're short on land, too. If I cycle now, we don't get much value out of the tap, although I can tap the Naturalist, and then we actually have an attack. But I don't think I want to attack the Tactician because it's holding back 3 creatures right now. But we do need to cycle, find land, so let's do that. Cast Tactician. Yeah, we could cast it. I really want to find land, though. When I don't have my 4th land yet, I really want to do it. Well, Mike wants to Snare Tactician. You don't care if we hit land this turn, Mike? Because if we do, then we have the chance hitting land next turn, and we Tactician and double cycle anyway. I'm going to go with my gut. Mike wants to cast Tactician here, but I really want to find land, so I'm going to go looking. And to that end, I'm going to cycle the Stinger as well. Or we could hold this one. If we find land naturally, then it goes kind of bonkers. But no, I want land. I want land. That's why I want land. Then do it. All right, now we got to wait. But you see, like, if I hadn't done that, we'd be so many cards away from our next land, wherever it is. I hear you, Mike, but a 4th land would be good on this board, too. To that end, I can just play the Crystal here, and then if needed, we can cycle the Stinger, which looks like it's starting to be a need. And then if we draw a land, we can get Gigantha out. If we don't draw a land, we have Rock Slide ready and double... Yeah, I think all signs are pointing to Crystal here. But look, Mike, it still worked. The 1 snare was enough. We didn't even get attacked. That's how important Tactician is. Prophecy. Well, let's do Prophecy on Tigerilla. Although maybe we want Prophecy on Wild Bonder. Kind of want them both dead. But we can Rock Slide one, Prophecy the other. If we Prophecy away like a Shredded Sails, we might find a land and be able to drop Marmoset or Tactician. Probably Tactician, since we have the white for it. I'm going to do that now, looking for land again. Alright, found the land, so we get our 2nd Tactician. Alright, now with 5, we can drop Gigantha. Only going to be able to really add 2 for us since it can't pay generic. Oh yeah, I can be here. So, yeah, back to this. 5 mana. We can do a Marmoset and a tap. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with Gigantha here, though. Threatens everything on their board. Threatens to help us empty our hand. So they're willing to offer the mole and probably like a brushwag for the Gigantha, and I'm inclined to take it. Wouldn't you be? Like, it's a 2-for-1 on our free card, and then we can just get back to business with our other stuff. Fully Grown was a possibility, I suppose, but didn't they? I thought they had 2 mana. Naturalists can't cast that, right? We could, as I was saying, I hard cast Go for Blood a lot. We could take out the Brushwag while shields are down. And we could then, let's see, if we have 3 left. We unfortunately can't cast a Marmoset. We're choked on red. So if we do that, we maybe are setting up to cycle a charge. Trouble about Rescuer, Kenyon, is that we do, well, I mean, if we're willing to trade the Rescuer for like their Naturalist, that's fine. Let's start by killing the Wag. And then if we rescue her, we're saying, do you want to give up one of your Naturalist or your Wild Bonder for it? Maybe that's actually worth it. Just say, yeah, sure. Use more of your resources if you want. All right, well, now we need some land for eventually killing this thing. And we can tap it in the meantime. That's good. Mountain is good here. We get Marmoset and Cycle on their turn. We also have Shredded Sails Rock Slide, but if we don't need to, like, maybe they mutate onto it, but we can just tap it until hopefully we find a land and just kill it with 1 spell. We could do a second Marmoset, but I want to tap the Ghidorah here. I'll tap with Coordinated Charge, though, so if we don't find a land, we have the Rock Slide Sails option available to us. It is Illuna, yes. There's our land, right on. And we get Cycle Sails to keep the tapping going. Possible ram through, but Rock Slide should still work. Let's see what they got. You wouldn't Rock Slide here. Well, guards. They're down pretty low on cards. I'm going to make them have it. We have Shredded Sails behind. Even if they do something to, like, save it. And here now, I'm going to go aggro. We'll cycle this, tap the Bonder, get one final creature. But now we get to attack with everything past a Wild Bonder. It's fine. No. That's pretty aggro. I'm gonna go Marmoset. And we have Vantasaur to tap. So between Marmoset and Tactician, we can attack with everything. All right. Holding these lands in case of reunion. Reunion, Insano. If this is not lethal, I mean, we can cycle to make one of these 6. Yeah, this should be lethal. Oh, I'm lying on my record and stuff. Let's fix that. Check the daily... Oh, we already did that, Hat. How do I have 3 unfinished quests? What do you mean, Kenyon? I mean, if they're cast whatever spells and we weren't playing those colors yesterday. I mean, they want blue-green and blue-black, and we've been playing cycling. That's why. And I cycled this morning. See ya, Knight. I'm checking out Mike's cycling deck here. Let's see. 6 Snare Tacticians. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 cycle ones besides Healer, Stinger. But those count to me. So you've even got 8 cycle ones. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks very good. The double Moloch and the... I mean... You have that many Snare Tacticians, it's hard to lose. Wolverine has proven to be a fine 9th place closer for the cycling deck, you know? I mean, it's so absurd. Like, Wolverine is this, quote, payoff that we don't even really prioritize highly, but ends up playing as a 3 mana, 6/3 for the deck. You know, it's something else. Well, speaking of something else, this hand is something else. Loot tree? Yeah. Loot tree. You gotta remember the drawback. Like, we see one thing, it means they can't have another. Oh boy. I think we go hard cast Stinger. We're gonna take a little bit of a risk here and not buff the Fox for now. And we're gonna play the Stinger. And then next turn we can go Rescuer, cycle the other Stinger, or Marmoset. We'll see. We'll see what they do here. Stinger of their own. We have our mana now. Boy. All right, I'm going to get greedy since they haven't killed anything yet. I'm going to play the Marmoset. And then since we have our mana, next turn we can go Rescuer, cycle Crystal, and really start going nuts. Yeah, James, we could have gone all in on the Fox. I guess what I figured here is that we've gone 1, 2, 3 with 3 incredible payoffs, and if they can kill the Fox, we've already got our backup plans on board. Yeah, we maybe had a free attack with the Fox. I really didn't want to be put into the position of having to activate it, though, but it was probably a free point of damage. I was being ultra conservative, and here I like Rescuer, and then we can do Blood this turn. You could think maybe casting, but I think like casting the Go for Blood. To that end, we could just do Crystal, and look for a land even, and then have Go for Blood or Stinger next turn. Yeah, Rescuer is a better payoff than Stinger for sure. Kenyon, I don't know if I said otherwise, but I agree with you. Yeah, Stinger is also another thing we could save to cast. So I think I'm going to go with the Crystal Cycle. Do we need to cast this? Because, like, we could kill their Stinger even, right? And that's pretty good. Oh, Stinger, because we weren't going to activate. Like, I like this so much better, Kenyon. I wanted to wait to play it on the turn we could actually get value out of it. So, I'm going to let this timeout go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to cycle. We want more land. Let's see if we can find a land. Not sure. This is tough. These are the tough choices of a cycling deck. If we get a land, we'll be very happy. All right, we missed on land, but we still get an attack with a Marm. And we still have our Go for Blood, so we can kill the flyer too before if it grows once, we can still get it, for example. But as it sits, I like cycling the second Stinger and casting the Go for Blood. We'll see if my opinion changes based on Oppo's plays this turn, but that's where I'm sitting right now, and our draw could change things too. And the Ganmore, 1 mana on cycle our turn, cycle their turn was an interesting line because it does give us double Rescuer, but it uses up 2 cards that I think are possible valuable casts, so I'm keeping them. Yeah, we are expecting to get potentially 2-for-1 soon on Loot Tree. Well, now we know what we fight with if we go for blood. Low risk to do that on a fox that's out of commission now anyway. Wilt is no longer castable without Gigantha. We could, though, eventually cast it with Gigantha and unlock our fox, so maybe we hold those. And I'm going to go follow through on what I said I would do, actually, and cycle the Stinger here, and then probably cast the Go for Blood. But let's start. I'm going to cycle one. I want land. I want Rescuer tokens. I don't want more Marmosets. We could just attack with... at this point, I would take Rescuer for either of these. Rescuer's doing some work. Yeah, Cycle the Stinger still fight. We can do that. We could even fight the Tigerilla with the Go for Blood and the Fox, but we were thinking about unlocking the Fox with the Wilt. I got 0 hourglasses, so I got to figure out my line here. I'm going to be a little conservative and send in the Marmoset, play the other Marmoset, and not offer Rescuer for either of those two creatures right now. Do token lands still trigger landfall or land ETB? Yeah, I mean, if it's a land and it enters the battlefield, it's going to trigger landfall. Yeah, Wilt may end up being a cycling. They're at 9, so the idea that we're going to cast Gigantha, untap, and then use the Wilt to take this off so that we can untap with the... like... attacking with this Fox via Gigantha Wilt is actually like a 3 or 4 turn proposition here. So Mike is right that we're probably actually going to end up cycling this Wilt, but I did like getting the second Marmoset down here. We're going to put massive pressure on them next turn, and we can Wilt and cast Go for Blood to help with that. Them going wide with Forbidden, yeah, this is an interesting go wide. They kind of need it. Shredded Sails, we can just pick off the Dorat now. So I'm going to pick off Dorat with Shredded Sails. Oops, I didn't see how I tapped. So now I have to cycle. That's unfortunate. I was trying to save this for their turn, but I think we want to cycle anyway. Want to find land, and Marmoset attack is good. Yeah, screwed up the tap there, but hey, we found land. That's going to be fine. We can even put this out for the possible Go for Blood on their turn. Now they kind of have forced chumps. I'm expecting chumping here. Maybe I leave back a Marmoset because of that and because of the Go for Blood. They have no... yeah, we can't send the Rescuer. That's just going to get eaten. So I'm going to say Marmoset. You want an Alpha? What does that do for us, Mike? I guess we have chumps. We should at least send both, right? Because if they send back, we just chump. That's fine. So yeah, we'll send both, but I don't think we Alpha. And then if they don't block for some reason... I mean, they have to block. Question is, they block one or both. And if they're in chump style point right now, that's great for us too. Looks like they're mixing it up on what they're blocking with. Next turn, if we don't use Go for Blood on their turn, we have Rock Slide, cycle Go for Blood. Yeah, exactly. Rock slide the Tigerilla, and then ooh, maybe they'll do something here and get a little frisky. Yeah, make that Tigerilla fly, and we were gonna rock slide it anyway. All right, they're out of cards. We're going to take out their big threat, and if they can't increase the Glimmerbell's power, it's not going to be in time, and we do have 2 removal spells anyway. And great, now we can save this as a removal spell and actually start by cycling the Crater, although we can do that mid-combat, I suppose. And we can still rock slide. So let's follow through on the rock slide Tigerilla. Make sure that happens, although we knew it would happen. I could have waited on that since we knew it was going to happen. Yeah, both marmosets, I think, is the play here till Oppo does something to convince us otherwise. Save the Crater. Yeah, I have told myself I need to remember that the Crater is castable. I have not yet cast the Crater, but I feel like we want to cast it when it's going to win us the game. And maybe casting Gigantha and giving it haste could be that type of play, but that requires 7 land, you know. Right now, we don't even have to cycle for that to not do anything. They may just be playing as though we don't have cycle, but if so, that's not the way to do it. Like, yeah, James, we could do it if we didn't want to surprise them, but I think our current plan is just fine here. They're going to be ground into a concession pretty soon if they don't find an excellent top deck, which they could have. Interesting. So could get an extra 2 points in. 3 because of the stinger. I think I'll do it. We have more cycling behind. Well, if I didn't rock slide first, they block differently probably, so. I still think it was a mistake. I acknowledge that, but I don't think it's as costly as you're suggesting. I was thinking we're going to win anyway, so. They need a very powerful effect here. Like, would an ultimatum do it? Alright, now let's cycle the sails. Although we could also just kill the Glimmerbell. I want big marmosets, though. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle this to get... Well, hold on. Yeah, let me think it all through, Ryan. It's just I have 0 hourglasses, so I don't have a lot of time to think. Yeah, I guess we just have enough go wide if this isn't anything, right? But I'm just going to kill an attack then. There's a lot of ways to do this. clearing blockers here. Yeah.
I said sub, 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 sub.
Thank you for the sub. All right, let's add this to deck before I forget. Thank you all for hanging out today. Good to have you here. Definitely keeping this. We'll crack the wilds on turn 1 for a mountain. That sets us up for cycling 2 on turn 2, continuing to dig for lands and action. Then we got the Cathartic Reunion I like to see that helps us unclog however we happen to be clogged. Exactly, yes. Thank you, TJO, for the Godzilla sleeve donations. And cool, we found a mountain. Let's see, we don't have any double because of Gigantha, so it doesn't even really matter. I guess we most likely want to play 2 red spells coming up, so I guess I'll still get a mountain. Another Lutri deck here. Not the same person, is it? I don't think so. Not going to use our cycle 1 since we have a land drop next turn, but I will cycle the sails here if they don't play a flyer. All right, this is how a good cycling deck can lose, is just an oppo getting off to a nice, powerful aggro start that we can't overcome. So right now we are disadvantaged here. Yeah, we can cycle claws. That's fair. We just have 2 shredded sails, so felt like I just wanted to go with the one that's that we didn't have a duplicate of, but we're certainly not casting this anytime soon. Tactician is what we want to see, really. I'm going to risk it and play it out right now. There's a it's possible they use black to remove it right away. But if it lives, we suddenly become in very good shape, so I'm going to risk it. Make him have it. Looks like they're splashing the black, so hopefully they're just not chock full of removal. Of course, they could have ram through, you know, dead tactician. A lot of card draw is going to come out of that until we can get maybe Gigantha online. But I like Crag here. And I'm going to hard cast Healer and cycle the Vantasaur. Help us in the race a little bit. They're going to start drawing a lot of cards here until we can beat them on power. And in general, this makes me want to accelerate our plan and try to get them dead. Survive, little snare tactician, survive. Farfinder, always decent, especially for these usually 3-color mutate decks. Gnarly. Marm is good, but we're out of 1 mana cyclers. If we want to do that, we're going to be out of luck. I like passing here and double cycling. But James, then we got to do like full control to try and successfully threaten it. I'd rather... I mean, maybe we can pull that off. But I'm content to just cycle Shredded Sails a couple times and get attacking next turn. Means that we don't get a land play this turn if we draw a land off our cycling, but I do want to tap Great Horn and Gnar. Gonna just get buried in card advantage here, though. Fair enough, Mike. If this were paper, I absolutely would. But Arena's too info leaky for me to be happy with that play. They didn't have the mana. I mean, it's 5 to mutate. It's... you can still see through it. I don't know, man. I'm happy here. Charge I want to hold on to because we do have the Rescuer. If we can find the... Ooh, we also have Gigantha cast Wilt, get rid of Primal Empathy. Yeah, worst case we take 6 damage, I suppose, Mike. Well, definitely Marm now, because we actually do have the cycling one. Hopefully we'll find land. That is such a fantastic cycle target. Oh my... I mean, sorry, mutate target. I got Cycle Brain on. Reunion could get... Pitch Reunion. Boy, this is just going to get out of hand. If we go Reunion, we probably find land, but then we can't cycle anything. We could cycle the Crater, but not if we play Marmoset. All right, Marmoset and cycle on their turn is okay. Yeah, exactly, James, right? And this may be what Mike was on about. Like, we're in a situation where we can't lose. We're going to lose the long game. So what are we doing here? Like, every turn we untap and they draw 2 extra cards, it's just, like, harder and harder for us to win. So, really need a excellent turn next turn. Yeah, Oppo Milling isn't out at 18 to 22. We should keep an eye on that. But I think if they get to draw all 18 of their cards, they're going to overwhelm us before we can deck them. Cycle Upkeep to deny the enchantment. What would that do? How does Cycle Upkeep deny this enchantment? I don't understand. Oh, because of the marmoset. I get you now. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see the. I didn't understand, and now I understand. That could have been. Well, it turns out what I did worked out for the better, but I'll think about that. That's a good point. Good point. In this case, tapping an 8/8 flyer seems like it has a little bit of value. Not a bad thing to find with your incredible mythic. You say rip, but I say cycle. Yeah, I say mostly dead. Mostly dead. Here, we'll give you that.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Now they're at 13 cards. Yeah, too bad we can't just target them with this, right? Draw three, die. We do have a shredded sails. Coordinated charge. I think we're just... I think I'm gonna... By reunion, we only get one tap, though. We need to double cycle on their turn and be sure of it, so I'm gonna pass again. But, like... this is bad news. I said we needed a big turn this turn, and we don't have it, and we're probably gonna lose. They're just drawing too many cards here. We needed to turn a corner by now. Now it's starting to look like our only hope is going to be tapping them out. And I'm going to cycle the coordinated charge first. Flourishing Fox. Don't think it's going to be big enough. We probably just want it to cycle, really. But we can cycle Wilt here. Go for Blood's interesting. Just because if we get the marmoset big enough, we might be able to even take out one of these two with it. It would be a trade, but you know, you do what you gotta. Oh, I thought we were in pre-combat. I was cycling early. Oh, I guess I was doing it in response to this. Never mind. I had my reasons. If we blood, I can't... Well, I guess we can still sails that, but I was kind of thinking we need blood to hard cast, but let's let's see. 8 cards. If we can find another tactician, all is not lost. Yeah, that's why we need to find the other tactician. This one no longer works. Hello, friend. We were just talking about you. So, tactician. And then cycle one, cycle one. I could play the mountain and shred and cycle. And then we got to pass. Shred cycle seems okay. It's okay. But shredding to, like, kill the heron, we don't even care about the 3 damage. It's not like it's an otter that's drawing them extra cards on combat damage. So let's see. But I'm saying we don't even need to tap this. Like, the taps we're concerned about are these monstrous dudes, right? I can take 3 in the air while they deck themselves. Uh-oh. It's like Oppo knows how important these cards are. And does this have trample? So it has trample, so we're also somewhat close to dead. And it's a punch, not a fight. Let's see. Too bad this isn't instant. Yeah, we just don't have enough here. I think they finally get us. But let's do some tapping. And cycle sales, I think. Keeping Go for Blood for the still possible kill. Although we can also, we do have other cycle ones, right? So maybe I cycle 1 in case we find more cycling. Now we're out of tacticians, unfortunately, which is why when I see a 6 snare tactician deck or whatever, it's like, yeah, that's the stuff. So here we'll save as much damage as we can, and take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oppo has 6, enough to get there. We're not going to quite get him. If we could use Cathartic Reunion on Oppo, we would win. We can make him draw 6. But we do not have it. Let's start... I don't think we have outs, but if we do, it starts with getting rid of these lands and finding that action. I really don't see how we win from here. Like, I can't... Like, we need to, like, get him to draw a million cards, and we just don't have it. But I'm going to cast my Reunion. I'm going to take a look. Like, maybe somehow, because we get Fire Prophecy here. Yeah, no, we're just done for. All right. Good deck, Oppo. First loss. No shame in that one. Yeah, that first, like the second turn they drew off the primal enchantment, I was like, okay, it's just slim to none now, and then it kind of quickly became none. All right, this looks good though. Guaranteed Tactician on 3. And I'm gonna say go ahead and play the wilds here. Thin our lands a bit. The other alternative is to play Windscarred and not thin our lands. It takes a bit before it's made itself worth it, but it gets there. I'm gonna go Crag now so we get our Tactician on 3. And with Tactician on 3, I don't want to cycle our cycle ones. Appa with a similarly strong-looking start. Oh, I'm going to throw it out there. It takes a while before its value comes through, so it's slow. But if you're going to play a long game with big dudes, it's hard to lose if you get it going. Oppo may be trying to decide whether they want to cycle proactively on their turn to tap my Tactician and get in for 4, or cycle defensively. All right, they're just dropping some premium payoffs for the very deck we are in. Now, we also have guaranteed Wellspring next turn. I'm going to be defensive here. Assuming Oppo cycles here to turn on that 5/4, we can cycle a couple times to tap him down. It's a swingy pick, the old Primal Enchant. And I don't think we're casting this, but Shredded Sails also doesn't do much against cycling. Now we get Marm Cycle. That's cool. Marmoset on a cycle can actually threaten the reflection. Five lands, still good, and then we have Cathartic for these other 2, all ready to go. Yeah, that's true. They would tap it to make it large. So maybe we're just in a tap down competition here. Oppo a little short on mana. Hopefully that continues. That's another way the cycling deck can lose. They just don't find the mana despite the cycling. We're kind of tapping each other out. Unfortunately, they're stinging us when they tap. If I had 2 1-mana cyclers, I might just cycle Gopher Blood, but also if they tap down here, what I want to do is cycle up the Marmoset and then fight their Tactician, and then we can win this cycle battle. Yeah, Mike on the same page there. Yeah, now it's both Stinger and Healer. Preserve life total and really hope this Go for Blood plan works and that our Tactician sticks around. Double tack. Well, still need to do this, actually. All right. Well, now maybe we just play the land and rock slide. Although then they can get us back for quite a bit. So, shoot. Maybe we... I could rock slide, take 5, but then we also probably take from this. Take 6. We take 6. And then untap and be okay. You want to do the double snare tap and then kill this. We can kill the tactician with the rock slide later. I suppose we do have that now that we have a second tactician. I guess let's go to attackers first, though. Hey, fool. Welcome. How you doing? You want to hold back snare? I didn't. I guess they can get into if they want it. Well, I guess they can't, though. Like, we tap this and this, and then they attack into that? I think we're fine. Gotta get them dead, Mike, right? Why did you want to hold it back? Afraid of dead tactician? They tap. Sure. A lot of tapping going on. I still think this is fine, right? Decided to cycle the blood because we have the rock slide, but it's tough. This is looking pretty good though now. We can go with 7. We can hard cast rock slide, hard cast stinger, and cycle Vantasaur. I like just getting rid of this tactician now. Gotta kill this thing. Excuse me. Yeah, we may lose to the flare. I barely even think about flare because I can't beat it. It's like if they have it, we lose. That's how that works. We do have another cathartic reunion, so I'm going to hold this plains. And there we go. As we said, if they have the flare, we lose. So we lose. Yeah, might even be dead to stinger, not flare. Fair enough. Looks like their cycling deck was a little better than ours, so there you go. One loss to a good mutate deck that got the front foot on us, and another loss to a better looking cycling deck, so there you go. Still love our deck. I'm going to take a quick bio break, though, and leave this here for you to browse, and I'll be right back, okay? Hang in. Hey, everybody, I'm back. We were talking about trying the Heartless Act in this deck. We have Scoured Barrens and an Evolving Wild, so we could pretty easily cut, like, a mountain put in the barrens and cut a plains, put in, and I said I wanted to try this once. I've been kind of down on splashing. It hasn't felt as effective as I want it to be. Feels like I get clogged up a bit, but we can try it for the act. And what do we cut for that? Probably one of the sails or the rock slide, but I think with 2 tacticians, I'm fine with having some extra removal here. I believe I cast Gigantha, but it was not relevant. I think we did cast Gigantha once. Yeah, we could give up on Gigantha to put a ambush in the deck. That's all we're getting is really an ambush, so I don't think it's worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it for the Gigantha. We'll just give up 1 cycle 1 for a free 5/5. It's just worth it. Let's try this. Because Rock Slide's a little bit clunky, and we have just enough other removal that I'd rather make my Snare Tacticians make your creatures unblockable, but 2 Snare Tacticians is in a weird spot. Like, if I have, like, 5 Snare Tacticians, I'm not playing any removal. I think Companion is more broken than Cycle 1. Cycle 1's not even broken. It's the payoffs in the limited deck that are broken. Well, we took out, what, one of our cyclers for this, so let's see if we'd rather have a cycle for that, but I like this hand. We'll go 2, 3, and have cycle ready. Well, we're 2 and 2 now. Oh, I need to update the record on that front. Looks like another cycling mirror. This is human draft, so it shouldn't be all cycling mirrors. If you get into the bot drafts, it can be very cycling heavy. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing. If I had a threat, like this is the ideal plays on this turn. Like ideally, you're playing a Marmoset right now, right? And then next turn you go Tactician, cycle Vantasaur, tap their blocker, attack with a bunch of stuff. We don't have that luxury, so we're just gonna play the 3 we do have. Volpikit. There's the Wilt. I guess we go ahead and... I don't see anything we want to Wilt, so I'm going to go ahead and cycle the Wilt here to look for action. Slash tap the blocker. Not that they would block anyway, but you know. Alright. Play some land next turn. We could go for blood, but no, we can wait. Next turn we can Gigantha. Clearly I should have cycled before playing the land, because right now I could have played Evolving Wilds and have the plains back in hand to get a sure thing Gigantha next turn, and we're not going to cycle both of these probably, so... oh, got a chill meme request for Oppo's name.
All right, everyone, chill.
Go Vantasaur, figuring go for blood. Probably going to be used for removal this game. And I don't want to use our cycling 1 to save 1 point of damage here. Hey, that's a draw. Definitely playing the wilds. Definitely killing the Vulpikeet with this. Do we want to do anything else before I push through? No, let's attack first. If they have something, there's the first strike, 1 mana first strike play that could actually technically take out a stinger that we want to be ready for. But now that that is passed, yes, I like Sails. Kill Keat. Do this before I forget. Oh, I was supposed to get a swamp there. Sorry. I forgot we were splashing. That's a total punt. I don't know about the other land play is whatever, but I totally forgot we were playing black. I may have to like send away the Heartless Act now. I forgot there was even swamps in there when I did that fetch. Sorry, gang. I think we are still in good shape for this game, but that was silly. Let's do we want to prophecy? Well, we can prophecy. The question is whether we want to cycle, and I think the answer is no. So we just let him do that. We're still going to cast it. Also, we have Heartless Act. We have the Gigantha that'll cast our Heartless Act. So it was a wrong land grab, but it's not gonna wreck us. We hope. Another Tactician. Well, I'm gonna do Gigantha now. See if they got anything for this. And if probably just have cycling, but if they want to use Divine Arrow or whatever on Stinger, go for it. Kill it. I want you to. Yeah, you can cast non-creature. It's just that you can't spend this mana on generic costs. So we can only play... We can get white for Tactician, red for one of these two, and black for the Act, but we got to pay for the colorless ourselves. Our generic. Well, now we know that we are going to use Gigantha for mana. And we're going to... Let's do a bunch of stuff here. I like tapping this for mana, and then... Boy, we can just do it all. I mean, how do we want to kill this thing? Probably... kill this. Maybe Tactician comes down first. We know we want a Tactician. You want to fight the 3/2, Mike? Yeah, we can fight the 3/2. Act or fight. We could do either one. I'm gonna send in Stinger. We have the Tactician back. We have a reasonable cushion. And Healer, Hardcast, leave Prophecy up. Those are kind of our choices here. I guess I leave it... I'm gonna leave everything up. And there you go. Let's tap that down. Heartless. I'm gonna just Heartless Act the Serpent now. And actually, I'm gonna let the rest go, and I'm gonna send in with the Tactician. Try to get them to triple block. Or we can send in with both. They probably do some sort of double or triple block here if we send in both, and then we can get them with the Fire Prophecy. So I'm going to do this. I don't think lethal. I don't think we had lethal, right? I mean, if they didn't block, we did. We had lethal. No, even then we didn't have cycling at the time, right? Anything but land would have been nice there. If we send in with both, they double block the Stinger and either take 2 or chump the Tactician, or they can triple block the Tactician, take 2 from the Stinger, but then they're... yeah, I guess we can hold, right? Unfortunate. We're like, any action is pretty good. If we can just wait a turn. Trouble if they get wider. Yeah, let's wait. Wilt in deck. No, there it is. Another Serpent. I think if they swing just Serpent, we take one here, or take one attack from it. Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can find cycling to deal with this. Not a bad draw at all. Rock Slide. I just like Marmoset Cycle Stinger, though. Although, if we go... Let's go Rock Slide. They don't really have the block, you know... We could end up Stinger, Cycle, win next turn. So, I'm going to slide here to set up possible hard cast of the Stinger. Oh, yeah, I could use Jeg for mana. Let's see, hold on. We do this. Well... It still didn't help us too much. Gives us a Stinger chance, though. We can cycle Stinger if we need to. Yeah, that's worth it. Not like Jeggings doing anything else. Cycle now and swing was Mike's line. Well, it looks like it could have been pretty good. Now I want to cycle to get the point in. Because if we can cycle a couple times, we just cycle down their blockers and attack for 2. Alright, well now we need a lot, but we can... Alright, well, that's a start. If I do this, there's no... we don't need this yet, right? I should start with cycling. All right. Now we just win. That's why we needed to cycle first. Make sure, especially if it was like a cycle 2 thing, that we could have enough mana to cycle to win. Thank you, Collie. Catch you later. And this time we were the better cycling deck. All right, nice. That was the big jump. We went from 250 gem reward to the old 1,000 gem reward. That's a pretty big jump. Yeah, Sunset, you really got to sequence things and use full control properly if you really want the rub-ins, right? Now, if we can get to 4 wins, it's effectively like profit, as far as I'm concerned. That's my big goal, 4 wins. This looks like a good way to get there. Crag to start, Stinger on 2, Rescuer on 3 with cycle 1 at the ready. Oppo going first, though. Wish we were on the play, but wishes, fishes, etc. Might go Stinger into Marmoset into Rescuer tap, now that we've found a different action option for turn 3. Alright, that's a bit suspicious, all that mana up and them not doing anything with it. I'm going to play a Plains, send in with the Stinger, see if it produces any action from Oppo, and then we'll throw out the Marmoset. I mean, if they counter this, it's too bad, but it's not the end of the world. We got a nice hand behind. Symbiote, probably an important card for them, to the point that we could go for a Go for Blood fight. But I'm going to start with Rescuer cycle. We're not going to fight now. Mike, you really think we need to kill this now? I mean, it's also into open mana. That makes me nervous. Makes me very nervous. I think we'll save Go for Blood and be able to go for blood with Gigantha if it gets a little bit big. Well, I just hate this open mana. Like, if we go for a... let's attack first anyway. There's a huge blowout risk, but maybe we need to... Some in chat are thinking the blowout risk is worth it given what a problem mutating onto a symbiote could be. Alright, see, they think it's worth even this, which I'm fine with, so we're just going to let them have this. And then if they do something to respond here... Yeah, this is fine. Alright, so now we rescue her. Or try. This could be Essence Scatter, but we're going to try. Looks like it's Cycle. We do have 2 Cycle 1s, so I could have gone Cycle 1 now, Cycle 1 their turn, but I'm still thinking we might want to use this Go for Blood as removal. So I'm just going to go with the shredded sails on their turn. Interesting, not their companion. So they have double costs that they feel were so important that they couldn't make Gigantha their companion. Yeah, it could be Archie. Fire Prophecy is interesting. Are you willing to trade Rescuer plus Fire Prophecy for a Gigantha? I don't think so, but we can send in the Marmoset and see what they want to do. They're not going to block, but we'll probably go ahead and turn this into a bunch of damage. I guess I'll start with Crater as our damage source. I don't even know how to say the card's actual name. Archipelagor, is that it? 7/7 mutate. Mike, you don't want to keep cycling here? That's true. We can save the for the cycles for their turn. We can even Cathartic Reunion. But I want to do that with lands. And we want to play the swamp anyway. Now we have Fire Prophecy and Cycling. This could be rough. They might tap this for mana and just dump their hand. Let's see what happens to us here. Brace yourselves. I think Mike has played once. Haven't you played in the chat gauntlet once, Mike? Oh, this is a good one. Look at top 5. Oh, it's not. Wait, this is not a great one. As far as ultimatums go, this could be okay for us. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, as far as Genesises go, that one is okay by me. Oh, they draw. Let's see. They put into hand the ones that don't go on the battlefield. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Just still draw 5. That's nice. Well, let's see if we can beat the draw 5. Draw 6 here. And we got a good start. They're at 14. They're about to get bashed down. And, yeah, they got to kill. Okay, they're going to tap down the Marmoset. But we can make a dude, Prophecy the Recluse, and be pretty good. Let's see what we find off the Vantasaur. Ideally a land here that we Fire Prophecy away. And there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and take out this Recluse. Hello, friend. Win target game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, if they don't have something in their hand, we do. Gonna go for it. Is ABC trying to figure out what do they got? Is this not going to work? Well, we're going to try. If it doesn't work, we certainly have reasonable backup. Yeah, there's a pause. We don't know what it is. I mean, also in cycling format Sunset, I don't read much into pauses anymore because anybody could have cycling 1 at any time and explain it completely. Oh yeah? Are they in the chat? I don't see him in chat. All right. Cool, we made it to the nice 4 win count. I'm gonna hold. You don't get a profit meme until we get to the full 5, but it kind of feels like profit to make it to 4. Yeah, it looks fine. Rather have Stinger than Healer to start, but it's a 2-drop we'll play. And we have Removal and Cycling behind it. Oh yeah, and a free 5-drop. Oh, sorry. My Scoured Barrens hid behind my land and I didn't even see it. Or, sorry, by the lettering. This Gigantha the Wellspring covered up my hand and I really didn't even see that land. I call UI shenanigans on that one. Unfortunate, but I won't screw it up twice. Total digital punt. That never happens to me in paper. Claws. Well, we have like 4 copies of Deal 4. There's one of them. Maybe let it go ahead and get a little bigger here first, and we'll follow with the play I intended to do on 2. Might cycle the Vantasaur anyway here. We don't have a land play for the next turn, so we definitely want to cycle. We just kill that thing to be sure. And I'm gonna send away Breaking Claws over Coordinated Charge here. You're on swing for... They're just never blocking, Mike. I mean, I guess I could have, but they're not in a million years blocking with that, right? Give them a chance, I suppose. And maybe I'll shred this now. There have been exactly 2 punts. One of them, and both of them were basically UI punts. I can't remember. The first one was also something pretty minor. So settle down. We're gonna rumble the Rumbler. Oh yeah, right. So I just cracked a Wilds and forgot what game I was in and then had a UI obscure my hand. Hardly a call for emergency, D. Like Marm Pass or Stinger Cycle. Yeah, let's go Marm Pass. Then Stinger Cycle next turn. You want to offer the trade? I guess we don't really care about our healer. It's not really the prime mover. These 2 are much more important. Alright, Mike, I'll offer the trade. See what they want. Also might tell us something about their intentions for mutate, that kind of thing. Maybe, like if they double block here, probably means they're not like set up to mutate. Maybe. Didn't they have counter magic up before that we cleared through? I can't remember, but let's find out. If we get our Marmoset countered, whatever, we have Stinger and even a Gigantha in the wings. No, I actually can't. I will not wake up Jace. There's a reason. Ticky-tack. Well, I kind of want Stinger, Cycle, Crystal, looking for land, which is kind of silly. I could just play the Crystal, I suppose. I could play the Crystal and play Stinger. Yeah, I guess we could play it. I think we want the Cycle, though. I really think we just want the Cycle, and we can even take a hit of 6 if they manage to spell this up. I'm going to do it this way. Little greedy. Maybe. And we'll start... I'll cycle the charge. Looking for a land play here. Glad I didn't play the Tactician. Well, here we are again, but this time we have Healer to cycle, so I'm going to play the Tactician, be willing to cycle the Healer. If they can counter this, that's pretty rough, but they also were down to 1 card in hand and then top deck, so I'm not, like, presuming they're holding the rare Shark or anything. We gotta cast our spells and hope. Crystal guarantees this, but man, I like tap, draw a card if I can get there. Oh, somebody's asking me if we played Gigantha. We definitely did, because I remember one time we happily offered it as a 2-for-1. And what are they getting back? Oh, that's pretty good. That is pretty darn good. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose our Tactician, but we can hopefully cast Gigantha and then have something to trade with that Wolverine. Sure, we do. What do you mean? Oh, because there's only 2. Well, we will eventually. Maybe not immediately, but right, Mike? They're gonna get us eventually with that. I like that this goes down to a single strike as well. But still going to tap it. Yeah, they're not killing the Tactician right now, but I'm expecting our Tactician to die. No, Mr. Bond. Expect you to die. Well, Crystal really trying to get me to play it. But I still like Marmoset here and then make him choose. Well, we can't Wolverine and cast Gopher Blood here. And I wouldn't want to 2-for-1 ourselves just to get rid of this Wolverine anyway. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to lose all our creatures. I'm going to cycle this Gopher Blood, although... Could cycle the Stinger so that we can fight with the Gopher Blood once we drop Gigantha. I think actually that's what we have to do. Hopefully this is close to them being out of action and will stabilize shortly. It's plan A. Wow, now they have it and didn't go... Wait, 1, 2... Yeah, they definitely have 3 now. And we found our planes, though. Or a land that we can now cast Gigantha. There's the murder, most foul. And now we have to take another 6, but if Gigantha lives, we get to fight and win against the Wolverine and try to take over with a 5/5. Cross your fingers, they could still have something here, but hopefully our shortened land count will work to our advantage as well. Gonna... Doesn't matter because we actually have the Barons, but I'll, out of respect, get the Swamp this time. So... Attack. See if they do anything. Nothing. So then I'm going to go for it. Wait. Okay, it's fine. No. Okay, that is what's going on. And if we cycled now, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So I'm going to wait, and there's a world in which they play something enchantment or artifact based here where we hard cast and wilt. Unlikely, but let's keep the option. And now do we want to try and go for a cycle here to just hasten their demise? Yeah, I'm going to say, well, you know what? I'm not, because they might have... yeah, we could wilt off of the Giganta as well. So I guess with that, we'll cycle the crystal here. Reunion is interesting. We can just reunion away wilt and reunion to try and find better action. I think that's the play here, maybe, although maybe we just end up finding land with that play, and I'm better off wilting, cycle wilt here. Yeah, capture sphere is what I'm worried about, Mike. So let's make sure they don't have capture sphere. I think with them not showing the ability to deal with what we have on board, I'm just going to completely pass. Rethink if they solve Plan A. They did not solve Plan A. All right, now you get a straight-up profit meme. 5 wins. Excellent. How's this look? Pretty good. I'm even going to play my tap land first. You ready? Here it comes. Boom! Top player here. Glimmer Bell of Hope for Oppo. Let's see if they block. I assume they will. Why? I mean... Hey, thank you for that sub. Appreciate it, Chunk. Well, I'll go Swamp Tactician, keep him guessing. Vigilance. Funny, giving a Glimmer Bell Vigilance, it's like, whew, save me 2 mana, thank you. Definitely gonna thin our library here as opposed to worrying about a double cycle. Right? Yeah, I think so. Thin this land. And then we can still double cycle if we want. Again, though, I just figure we probably want to use Go for Blood as removal. The Snare Tactician is somewhat of a free attack. We could then even use the Go for Blood on one of the blockers if we want. So I'm going to go ahead and send in the Tactician. Gives us the option if we want it. What do you think? Kill that? I think I like kill that. This could get out of hand, right? It's kind of clunky, so there's a way in which I don't mind them spending 2 mana a turn trying to make this bigger, but it does get out of hand eventually, so I'm gonna do it. But we'll fight here. Hello, officer. Shredded sails for the flyer. And wilt to tap down officer. They won't block here. Well, I suppose they... Yeah, I'm going to full control and just kill the flyer. They're not gonna do the double because they'd be giving up the officer. There's no way they double block. I'm not gonna count on a double block here from a fellow platinum. They're never doing it. Maybe I should have played around that, but you also got to win with these decks, right? And I'm going to cycle this now since we're not tapping anything. That's not too scary a creature. That's not too scary a creature. So far they haven't put 5 power on board, which means Gigantha is just going to be checkpoint officer's big job. Unfortunately, healer can't really attack into 1/4/1/1 because they'd happily trade the Farfinder for the healer. So right now, okay, Heartless Act changes that though. But for Heartless Act, we're just gonna get it next turn and get their checkpoint officer. Ouch. Well, we still get the Heartless Act for the checkpoint officer, but Plan A out the window. And now we got multiple officers. Yeah, send all, send all. Yeah, we're not playing lands anymore. We're at a comfortable 6. And boy, heartless and waiting to find answers, I suppose. Yeah, it's an instant Ganmore, but they're blue. So if you get too cute, you just get your stuff countered. You can pay for Convolute, but you can't pay for Neutralize. That being said, I think it's worth the risk. They need to specifically top deck Neutralize to punish us. I hear you, but it's worth... I mean, gotta also remember, try to figure out what you're getting out of it. And in this case, info, extra info. But I'm gonna do it now. It saves some damage, and I want one of the officers dead. Yeah, keep safe is... not ideal either. Well, it's a start. I'm going to play it rather than cycle it. We need a board presence, and if we can get some cyclers, we'll be pretty happy with the result. And we're at 17. We got a fine life total here. It's just kind of a mentor deck. Has 2 cathartic reunions. It's something we're waiting for sure. Boy, that's a tough one on cast or play. But I think we need to cast or cycle, but I think we need to cycle. And I'm going to do that now. Get a creature and maybe find some more cycling for their turn. Yeah, we'll cycle that on their turn. And hopefully we still have... yeah, we still have our Go Wide Pump Team Cycler as a win con if the Rescuer survives. Man, I've been having this nervous... I mean, I don't know. Having a tick in my eye, muscle spasm in my left eye. Just that little jittery that's like, stop that! Thank you for that sub. Go for blood. We are gonna play Vantasaur and cast Go for Blood on the something or another. Either the Mentor. Even Go for Blood. You can even cycle the Vantasaur and just fight like Rescuer on Mentor, but I think we want to try and get more value there. Yes, I swapped it for the sub-chorus of my karaoke cover. I'll talk about that later. Right now, I'm trying to figure out our plan. Yeah, I played a land because my plan was initially to Vantasaur Go for Blood. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play Vantasaur. And probably we'll keep the possibility of cycle, but probably gonna fight with this. But yeah, I did that absentmindedly. I shouldn't have played the land. I like being hosted, but I don't know about that. Now I'm going to draw a Cathartic Reunion for the big punish. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. But I'm okay with that. That'll shrink back down. Now, though, we really do need to take care of this Mentor, or these are going to beat us. Oh, don't play that, Ryan. Stop making that mistake. I'm going to cycle, though, first. Get some life. Could also just take out the Farfinder, which might save us more damage than in the course of this game than taking out the Mentor. But we have other means for the Farfinder. I think I'm going to follow through on the fight plan. I could send in with a Vantasaur and see if they actually want to block this thing. I don't think so, but we can try. And if they do block it with the 3/6, we can consider fighting it. It becomes a trade at that point, though, so keep that in mind. Go for Blood is not an instant. Can't fight at instant speed here. But I still think I'm happy to have them trade if they want. Because at worst, we get a checkpoint officer here. I'm going to fight. And we're going to fight the Mentor. We're still, like, dead in the air in 2 swings, so we need some help. Cycling buys us another turn, though. The other thought was, like, if we left the Mentor alive, they come with 4 and then 5. Like, the Mentor maybe buys us another turn, but then we lose any kind of long game. Here we go. Rock Slide gives us an extra turn. That doesn't even really matter. We could send in... No, no attacks. All right, Cathartic Reunion into some good action. Or desperately hope to find some next turn. I wanted to make him act on the Vantersaur. The whole... Maybe I should have, but I was just trying to get him to do stuff before committing to an attack, but now we don't really have any. Like, let's see, if I come with everything here, one thing we need to possibly prepare for is to win off the +2/+1 off the top. So let's say we attack here. Let's say we just draw it. Then we don't really have enough to get through. But if we... Yeah, I like what Mike is saying. We swing all but token because one of our outs is to get +2/+1 the team. And this sets us up for a win if that happens. While preventing a lethal crackback. Oh no, wait, we did... Mike, we screwed up, because now they can tap our 1/1 and just attack and win. Oops. Shh. Yeah, that was my mistake of not responding when they didn't tap. I kind of just plowed through. Total punt, total punt. Got a good 5 wins out of that, but should have had one more draw to find a way out. Still got our profit at least. I'll give that to you one more time, since we just claimed our loot. Sorry, I didn't give us another draw. That was going to be tough to win, but we did have one more draw waiting for us if I left more blockers. Let's see. I'm going to go to check our packs. Might have... we're close to opening. I'll open these, though. Get some more grind. Ooh, it's a mythic. Oh, that's right. Good old GRN we didn't have finished on this account. There's 20 gold for us, though, and we're going to wait on the other Ikoria packs. Yeah, I don't know if that makes a difference, Troops. Let's say goodbye to YouTube, though. Here, hop to Soapbox. Thank you so much for hanging out, YouTube friends. We'll catch you the next draft, and we'll try and punt less. See ya.